Hello everyone. Up till now, we have seen the generalized addressing modes in the DSP architecture. Okay, that are the immediate addressing mode, direct addressing mode, register addressing mode, and indirect addressing mode. Apart from those four addressing modes, we have seen the various enhancements that are associated with the indirect addressing mode. Continuing further, the DSP system is going to offer the special addressing mode. It is a type of addressing mode specially given in the DSP processors. Next, one may ask a question: what is the speciality of the special addressing mode? The speciality of the special addressing mode, the addressing modes with respect to the that are not the advantages that are not with respect to the generalized addressing mode that are present with respect to the special addressing mode. The name, as the name implies special, the speciality here implies with respect to the two types of addressing modes that are, the first one is the circular addressing mode and the second one is bit reverse addressing mode. Here these two special addressing modes are being provided for the sake of real-time signal processing. Apart from the real-time signal processing, that is circular addressing mode, and for the purpose of computation of DFT and FFT algorithms, the bit reverse addressing mode is used. What is the use of bit reverse addressing mode? In the bit reverse addressing mode, the accessing of the data will not be in the regular manner. That means the input sequence will be in the bit reverse order and the output sequence will be in natural order. That means in order to access the data stream which is not in the normal manner, that is with respect to the bit reversed manner, we require the concept of bit reverse addressing mode. These are the two addressing modes which are going to see with respect to the special addressing modes. But before going to understand the concept of special addressing mode, let us try to solve a problem with respect to the various enhancement of that we have learnt in the last session. Now let us see the problem statement. The problem statement says that what are the memory addresses of the operands in each of the following instruction with respect to indirect addressing mode? What will be the content of the address register after the memory access? And assume initial values of the address register and the offset register as 0200H and 0010H respectively. This is the problem statement, and here we are going to find out the updated address register value with respect to the given instructions. Here we are having four instructions. The first instruction is add star address register minus. In order to solve this problem, first we have to identify the addressing mode. We have to identify the addressing mode that is associated with respect to the indirect mode, that too with respect to the various enhancement that we have seen in the last session. The first instruction is add star address register minus. Clearly, by looking into this instruction, we can clearly come to the conclusion that this instruction belongs to post decrement indirect addressing mode. Type of the addressing mode is post decrement. Addressing mode is post decrement, and now let us try to update the value of the address register. Since the address register is decremented after the memory access with respect to the addition instruction, then first the memory operand address will be as it is, that is, what is the value of the address register? Address register is having 0200H. We have to write 0200H as it is. Then after the operation of the addition instruction, what we are going to get? We are going to get the updated value of the address register. We have to decrement, that means we have to subtract by 1 with respect to this 0200H. If you subtract 1 with respect to 0200H, we are going to get 01F FH. We are going to get 0 1 double FH. Now let us try to work out the second instruction. The second instruction says add plus star address register. This addressing mode is nothing but our pre-increment indirect addressing mode. Then what happens? Before going to update the addition instruction value, we are going to update the address register value. That means we have to increment by one step. That first let me write the addressing mode, type of addressing mode, that is pre-increment. Next, prior to the updation of the addition instruction, the address register is getting updated to a value of 0201H. 200 plus 1, that is 201. After the updation, the address value remains same. Only the accumulator value will be changed. In that sense, I can write the value is 0201H. Or in other words, we can write 200 plus 1, that is equal to 0201H. Okay. Next addressing mode is add offset plus star address register. This belongs to the addressing mode of pre-add offset. Because why this instruction is going to belong to pre-add offset? Because before updating the star address register, we are going to update the offset register. Then the address register is coming into picture, or the contents of the accumulator will going to be come into effect. In that sense, I can write the type of the addressing mode is pre-add offset. First, I have to update the address register, and then I can see in the later state what will be the value of the operand or the address register value. Since we have to add before, that means I have to add 0200H with 0010H. Then the updated value is 0210H. 210. After the memory access, the register value remains same, that is 0210H. See, the difference between these two columns Now let us think about the special addressing mode. As I said before, the specialty of the addressing mode lies with respect to solving the real-time signal processing in DSP implementation and the implementation of DFT and FFT in case of bit reverse addressing mode. First one is circular addressing mode. The second one is bit reverse addressing mode. Now let us try to first understand how circular addressing mode works with respect to handling the real-time signal processing. That is with respect to real-time DSP computations. Okay. Circular addressing mode is used to access the data when the buffer is in circular shape. That means when the buffer is associated with respect to the circular in nature, then the incoming data will be processed at a faster rate compared to the incoming rate. Thus, the data will be stored in the circular buffer with respect to the sequential memory locations. With respect to the successive samples are stored in the sequential memory locations. We start with respect to the start of the buffer, and once the buffer is full, we have to start again from the beginning of the buffer. Okay, in order to handle this circular addressing mode, we need three hardware requirements. That is, the first one is we require SAR. That is nothing but start address register. A register to hold the start of the circular buffer in order to hold the address of the starting address of the circular buffer. So we can see the circular buffer will be in this manner. If suppose we can see, we can divide it into many memory locations. If this is the first memory location in the circular buffer, then we need SAR to be pointed here, and this is the last memory location in the circular buffer. Then that value is indicated by EAR. What do you mean by EAR? End address register. End address register. The second type of register is required to hold the value of the end address value in the circular buffer. And apart from SAR and EAR, we need one more pointer register in order to keep track of the current execution of the buffer, where the memory location is currently located. In order to keep track of this execution, we require a special register called as pointer register. Right now, where the memory location is pointing. In order to denote that, we require pointer register. With these three parameters, we can handle the continuous incoming stream of data samples that is associated in the circular buffer. With respect to when you access any data in this circular buffer, in order to access the data residing inside the circular buffer, we need the help of addressing mode called as circular addressing mode. The way in which we are going to access the data inside a circular buffer, that refers to the name circular addressing mode with respect to the help of these three requirements. That is one SAR, EAR and pointer register. With the help of these three registers, we are going to access the data inside a circular buffer. Okay. This pointer will help in keeping track of memory location by plus or minus, either increment or decrement operation of the address register. That is that we have seen with respect to the various enhancement of indirect addressing mode. There are different cases of the pointer updating process. With respect to that, we can see how the pointer is going to updated in 4 cases. There are 4 cases in which the pointer is going to be updated. Now let us see the four cases one by one in detail. The first case is SAR is less than EAR and updated pointer is greater than EAR. This is the first case. Now let us see the second case with respect to SAR less than EAR and updated pointer is less than SAR. Now let us analyze these two cases with respect to the updating the pointer. In both the cases there is one common factor. What is that? In both the cases EAR is greater than SAR, or in other words we can say SAR is less than EAR. Now let us try to understand the first case. In the first case SAR is less than EAR. That means SAR is having low address, okay, and EAR will be having obviously high address value, and the updated pointer is greater than EAR. That means the value which the pointer is going to be updated, that is more than the EAR value. Okay. Next, SAR is less than EAR. Here also lower value is lying with SAR and higher address is lying with the EAR, and updated pointer is less than SAR. Here the updated pointer is less than SAR. Before this value, that means before the SAR address comes, the updated is going to be happening before this SAR value. After studying these two cases, now let us try to analyze the next two cases. In next two cases, we can see SAR is greater than EAR and updated pointer is greater than SAR. In this case, SAR is having high address value, EAR is having low address value, and updated pointer is greater than SAR. That is exceeding the higher address value of the SAR. The fourth case is SAR greater than EAR and updated pointer is now less than EAR. It's now less than EAR. Now we have to denote the buffer size for the four cases. Since the SAR is less than EAR in these two cases, or in other words EAR is greater than SAR in the first two cases, we can write the buffer size for the first two cases as, since EAR is greater, we can write EAR minus SAR plus 1. This is the size of the buffer. That means already I have written the circular buffer. That means how many memory locations are there in the first two cases. How many memory locations? The buffer size. For example, in this case I can write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. The buffer size is, in this case it is 11. 11 is the buffer size. In order to find out the buffer size value, you have to use this formula, EAR minus SAR plus 1. And the buffer size for the next two cases, here SAR is greater. So the buffer size I can write for last two cases as SAR minus EAR plus 1. This will be the size of the buffer for the last two cases. Okay. Now let us try to write a pointer updating algorithm including all these four cases. Okay. Now let us write the pointer updating algorithm for the circular addressing mode. Pointer updating algorithm. In short, we can write as CAM, denoting circular addressing mode. First, we can see here pointer having the capacity to increment or decrement. First, we have to consider the cases one by one. What is the first case? The first case says that SAR is less than EAR. If SAR is less than EAR and if the updated pointer is, what about the updated pointer in the first case? The updated pointer was greater than EAR, and if updated pointer is greater than EAR, then you can write the new pointer will be having a value of updated pointer minus buffer size. Updated pointer minus buffer size. Here, why we have to subtract the buffer size from the updated pointer? The answer for this question is that, see, we know that the updated pointer, if I consider, okay, I will write the diagram this side. Let me draw the diagram. Now let us consider this has the lower address, starting from lower address. Okay, and obviously this will be the high address. Now, to what register the lower address is pointing? It is pointing towards the SAR because of SAR is less than EAR. With this condition, I can write the lower address lies with respect to SAR. Okay, and the high address lies with respect to EAR. This is the boundary from starting address register to end address register. Along with this, there is a condition. So, and if updated pointer is greater than EAR, that means the updated pointer will come into picture somewhere else here, somewhere around here. Okay. Greater than the EAR. This is the high address value. The updated pointer is going to take value that is greater than the EAR. In that sense, I can write the updated pointer here. Updated pointer. Okay. And if that is the case, then the new pointer will be updated pointer minus buffer size. Now we want to locate the new pointer, where the new pointer is going to reside. That means the new pointer value is updated pointer minus buffer size. That means this is the buffer size. The updated pointer is here. If you subtract this from the buffer size, then somewhere around here we are going to get the new pointer. I can write This is the new pointer here, and here will be the SAR, EAR and updated point that is shown in dotted lines. Okay, like this the diagram is represented according to the algorithm. Okay, now let us consider the next case, that is if, not if, with respect to the same case, that is the first case, that is SAR is less than EAR, and if updated pointer is less than EAR, is less than SAR, then what happens? The new pointer will take a value of the updated pointer plus buffer size. Why? Because since the value, the updated pointer was exceeding EAR, in order to bring it to the boundary range, we were subtracting from buffer size. Here, since the updated pointer is less than EAR, it is going beyond the range. In order to bring that address value within the range or within the boundary, we have to add the buffer size for updated pointer. Updated pointer plus buffer size, plus buffer size. We can write the diagram on that side illustrating the case 2. With this I can write now, as usual, this becomes the lower address, that is with respect to SAR, lower address that is with respect to SAR, and this becomes the higher address, or I can write high, that is confined to EAR, end address register, and updated pointer is less than SAR. That means the updated pointer comes somewhere around here. Because it is less than the SAR value. I can write updated pointer less than SAR. Then, if that is the case, what about the new pointer? New pointer will be updated to updated pointer plus buffer size. Updated pointer plus buffer size. This is the buffer size from SAR to EAR. That means if you add from here, if you add that value starting from this point, that is the updated pointer, then somewhere around here the new pointer comes into picture. Here we can write new pointer. Then that means the new pointer will be pointing here. SAR here, EAR here. Lower memory locations, higher memory location. And with this we have to observe that the location with respect to this and this. Here also, from here to here and from here to here, the length will be equal. Similarly, I can write here equal. What is equal here? The memory locations here and the memory location here. That means from SAR to new pointer, the number of memory locations will be equal to EAR to updated pointer. This much number of memory locations will be equal to this much number of memory location. Likewise here also. The number of memory location here will be equal to the number of memory locations here. Okay. Now let us try to understand the further two cases. That is, if SAR is greater than EAR. I can modify here itself. Okay. Now what is the condition? The condition is if SAR is greater than EAR. So, if this is the condition, that is, if SAR is greater than EAR and if updated pointer is greater than SAR, it should be greater than the highest value of memory address. In that sense, here SAR is having the highest memory address. I can write updated pointer greater than SAR. If that is the case, then what happens? The new pointer will be updated to updated pointer minus buffer size, because it is exceeding the highest memory address. So you have to subtract from the buffer size. In the next case, and if updated pointer is less than EAR, then I can write new pointer is updated pointer plus buffer size. Plus buffer size. Now we have done with all the four cases. If the condition is not met with respect to all the four cases, it is if none of the cases are going to be applicable, then what happens? Else you have to write else new pointer is the updated pointer. If none of the cases is going to be satisfied, then obviously the new pointer is the updated pointer itself. You can write else new pointer is updated pointer. Now let us draw the diagram for the third and fourth case as we have written in the first and second case. And now what is the condition? SAR is greater than EAR. That means now SAR comes here because of SAR is having the higher address. I can write SAR here. SAR with respect to high, and since EAR is having lesser value, it comes here. Low. I can write EAR pointing here. Then what is the condition? And if updated pointer is greater than SAR, that means SAR is pointing already with respect to the higher address. The updated pointer is greater than the SAR value. That means somewhere around here I can write the updated pointer. Okay. Then next, if that is the case, then what will be the value of the new pointer? New pointer will be equal to updated pointer minus buffer size. Minus buffer size. This value has to be subtracted by buffer size. That means you have to, this value is subtracted by this value. If I do so, somewhere around here, my new pointer is going to appear. Okay. With that, I can write the new pointer here and the updated pointer in terms of dotted line here. Here comes the EAR, here comes the SAR. Likewise, let us try to draw the last case, that is with respect to the next condition. And if updated pointer is less than EAR, that means as usual I can write this is EAR, and this is SAR. Having high value, this is having low value. SAR is greater than EAR. Here what is the condition? Updated pointer is less than EAR. That means updated pointer is coming somewhere around here because it is less than EAR. Updated pointer. Then what will be the new pointer? New pointer value will be updated to, new pointer is updated to updated pointer plus buffer size. If this is the buffer size, if I add from here, somewhere around here, I am going to come. That is new pointer. The new pointer will be residing in this area. That means between the EAR and SAR. As usual, here also this will be equal. That is from EAR to new pointer, number of memory location, and the number of memory location from SAR to updated pointer will be equal. Here also you can write will be equal. In all the four cases, the new pointer is always in between EAR and SAR. The new pointer should always reside between EAR and SAR. Thereby, it is confirming that it is within the circular buffer. That means it is not away from the circular buffer. That means I can write here this implies that the new pointer will always be within the limit of SAR and EAR. It will be taking any one of the memory location between SAR to EAR, and it is ensuring that this updated the new pointer will not residing out of the circular buffer like that. At any cost, the new pointer will not be out of the circular buffer. It is going to residing inside the range of the circular buffer, that is from SAR to EAR. Okay.